I been kicking it with Coog. 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 Got a lot of shit to lose. I been kicking it with Coog. I been kicking it with Coog. I been kicking it with Coog. How'd I end up on the news? Ain't been following the rules. Ain't been following the rules. You grew up with a silver spoon. We was dropping out of school. Threw a party out in Providence. 100 bitches in the pool. Pull up with Lodi.
I like to always stop it once he says threw a party in Providence.
Your intro hard.
Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Michael Aristotle. I had the homies do that like on a whim. I just texted them. I was like, I need a theme song. And they were like, give us 40 minutes. And they sent that back. But this isn't about them or us. I'm here with Amber Jaii.
Hi.
Welcome to Kickin' It with Coog. How are you doing today?
Hi, Coog. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Bro, I didn't fast today because I had 2 interviews. So, you know, if you see me drinking water, mind your business.
So you've been on a fast? Is that what you're saying?
I've been doing Ramadan this year.
What type of fast are you on?
Honestly, just like from sunrise to sunset, not eating and drinking water and trying to just do better. Not smoking till after specific times. Just trying to be a better human being. Realign myself.
Do you feel the change already? Like, do you feel better as a person? Does your soul feel better?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, for me, it's like the first time I tried it, I had like a really bad anxiety attack and I ended up being in the hospital because I was like doing lots of drugs and blah, blah, blah.
The first time I tried
Ramadan like 4 years ago. So every time I do a complete day, I'm just really happy that I did it. Because it's like I know what like the effects of like not doing it correctly, how I learned really early in like health as well.
Honestly, that's why I'm scared to fast. Like, I'm spiritual, you know, I talk to God, but I know that fasting is beneficial. I've heard amazing stories, but I'm pretty nervous just because I feel like, oh my gosh, days without eating
it's really, for me, it's the no water thing. Like, I'm sure like Cherry can attest, like we drink mad water, so it's like not drinking water all day is crazy. Right. But today I had to do it because I'm doing 2 interviews and I'm just
and
like,
you have to, yeah,
I'm gonna sound crazy.
Yeah.
But how are you? We're back in Atlanta. Last time I saw you, we were at Kima's party. You were killing it on the hosting.
Yes, Kima had a vibey party. I flew in just for that. It was vibes, and that was when I met you, and you had the dope energy, the dope 70s vibes. So yeah, I'm back in Atlanta. We've been working. I just shot 2 videos to one of my songs, Moshpit, and another song, Be Who You Are, that's coming out sometime this summer. So yeah, we've been working. I'm here with you now.
I love that. For those who aren't familiar with Amber Jaii, you wear a lot of different hats. So please tell us like all the things.
I call it crowns. I wear a lot of different crowns.
Because you're queen. My bad.
Okay.
A lot of crowns she wears. So tell us about all the fly things you do. For those who don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget. Okay, so I started off in radio and hosting. So of course I keep that in my resume, in my bag. I was doing Sirius XM with DJ Scream before the pandemic. So I'm a radio personality, a host, a DJ. So eventually I started to DJ and worked with a lot of brands, did like a lot of different things on TV, had like acting roles as a DJ, etc. So I'm a DJ. I'm a producer. I produce some of the records on my project, co-produce some of the records on my project, as well as an artist, writer, because clearly I write my songs.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm like a multi-hyphenated, what do you call it, artist? Yeah.
Multifaceted? What do you
Hyphenated, faceted, whatever you call it.
A lot of multi-situations.
A lot of multi-crowns.
So when I was doing a little research on you or whatever, I learned by like, you knew by the age of like 13, 14, you wanted to get into media. What was the moment that you were like, this is what I want to do? Like, were you watching 106 in Park and I was like, I want to be that person? Or like, what's the moment where you're like, I want to do media my whole life?
I don't know if it was necessarily media, and I don't know where it necessarily came from, because like I'll hear stories of my parents. Like my dad told me I was like 12 and I told him I was going to move to LA and do music by the age of before I was 30. So, and I don't even remember saying that. And he said I said that at like 11 or 12, you know.
Crazy.
But I do remember when I was in 8th grade and I was living in Detroit, Michigan. My mom told me we were moving back to Atlanta, which is like my second home. So when we moved down here, and I was also in 8th grade, I was kind of, you know, not wild, but I was bored. So only thing we had in Detroit was maybe a recreation center with like a swimming pool and a basketball court. So all I had to do was be outside. So, I was pretty active outside. So when I moved to Atlanta, I will never forget the first day of high school. The counselor asked me what did I want to take up, like what, curricular activity I wanted to take up. And I'm like, like PE, like what are you saying? You know, and she like gives me a list and I'm like, swimming, cooking, broadcasting, like
just crazy.
What, like I'm like, wait, okay, this is a lot.
Culture shock out here.
Yeah, real culture shock.
For
like,
sure.
Okay, this is a school. Okay, so and I tried to take the broadcasting class, but it was full. But yeah, I tried to take the broadcasting class, but it was full. But that was like, I think from what I can remember from my recollection, that my first like, oh, this is something you're interested in. Yeah.
So you said you started with hosting, like as a host, also as a host. There's so many different ways you can host. Like, what are your favorite types of hosting? What is it? Parties, hip hop shows, like, and for you, what's important as a host? Like, what is?
Host, yeah. I like all different types of hosting. I think that's why I know I'm like, I genuinely care about it, because rather I'm in front of like a camera, teleprompter, or I've hosted game shows, rather I'm hosting a game show, rather I'm hosting a lit party or hosting for a brand and trying to represent that brand and speak highly of that brand. I just enjoy letting or having people have a good time. You know what I mean? Like being the influence to a good time. And I think that is the most important thing with hosting to me as well. Just making sure that you remember that you are there for a job. I think that because it is maybe sometime in a nightlife or it's a party or it's an event that people get caught up in that part. But rather you're a DJ, rather you're the event coordinator or a host, you still have a job. Like I never get too lit at a event, or I never just not do my job or remember the reason that I'm there, which is to cater to the people.
What are some, even for me, like what are some like tips as a host? Like what are some things that like make it like comfortable for you? Like I'm always nervous before I grab a microphone. Once I grab it, we're good.
We're good, yeah.
Like, but I'm always super nervous. What are some tips to up and coming hosts?
I would say read the crowd and also be knowledgeable on what you're going into. So, know what city you're hosting in, know the DJ, know like the type of age group of the crowd or the type of brands that'll be there or the type of investors that'll be there or whatever, you're trying to cater to. If it's a music heads, know like your history of things, just come in prepared. And I feel like that's with hosting anything, rather it's radio, podcast, anything. And that's like my dilemma with the podcast world. Like I love how we're in an audio revolution right now.
For sure.
I love audio, but I feel like so many people don't really know like the knowledge of journalism or like really have the passion and like know the history and the do's and the don'ts. So it's like people are coming into these podcasts and interviewing people without even knowing the slightest of things. I mean, like you don't know the songs that they had or things that they did in the past,
or even that, like not just no knowledge about what it is the things we're talking about, whether it's about the person or just music in general. I think
or giving this, excuse my language, piss poor advice to the younger generation.
For sure,
it really
we
bothers
can swear
me.
It's cool.
It's
Amber.
really
it's
bothers me.
She really said, excuse my French, and she said piss poor.
Because you don't know who listened to your podcast. Okay, I want to warn them.
I mean, honestly, besides my mama, like
hey mama,
she everyone knows. I swear, it's cool.
Okay,
like it's cool.
Right.
Like we can piss poor is hilarious.
My grandmother might watch this too.
Oh, for real? Never mind then.
My grandmother's a pastor.
Oh, nah, we don't be swearing around here. Never mind.
She know we swear. Trust me. With my siblings, oh, she knows.
How many siblings do you have?
I'm the oldest of 12.
Damn.
Yeah. Papa's
Rolling Stone?
Papa Rolling Stone. You the oldest too? Oh wow. 15. Yeah.
15?
Crazy.
Are they all from your pops? Yo, these niggas
pops,
couldn't pull out of driveways. Jesus.
Yeah. My pops pulled out the driveway and went straight to their mom.
Clearly.
Went to the mama house.
Damn. Is he cool with all his kids too?
Yeah, my grandmother, she made sure she keeps the family together. She's like the rock of the family. And even though I'm the oldest and it's a lot of us, I make sure I keep a good relationship with all of them. I'm very involved in everyone's life and the goods, the bads, the do's, the don'ts.
What's it? So I'm like the middle child. I have an older brother. I have a younger brother.
I mean, not lucky you, but
I like being the middle. I feel like my brother has a lot of wild pressure. Do you ever feel like there's pressure on you because you're like The focal
pressure
point?
is an understatement.
Talk about it.
I mean, I've told my siblings a lot of times, I'll give them advice like, wow, I wish I was 21 and had somebody to give me this advice at
For
21.
sure.
Or I could see someone older than me make the mistakes, because not only am I the oldest sibling, I'm the oldest grandchild as well.
Oh, damn.
So on both sides. So
Oh, wow, okay.
I was the first grandbabe, so I didn't have any cousins to watch, any siblings to watch. I didn't have anybody not in the industry, not that was successful, anyone to like just follow or say, oh, I shouldn't do that or I should do this. So, I always look at people like you who could, you have someone under you that you can influence, and you have someone above you that can help inspire you.
Nah, honestly, it's being the middle child. It's honestly incredible. Like having an older brother, especially like my older brother. Like he's wild cool. He's the person that put me onto all the music I listen to, fashion, all that. Like I couldn't imagine a life not having a cooler sibling. So when I hear people are the oldest or the only child, I'm like, damn,
like what? But I can't say I enjoy it. I mean, you got to take life for what it gives you, and I know that I was put in this position for a reason. And honestly, my siblings have saved my life.
I love that.
My siblings literally say and I don't mean that lightly. Like they've literally made a purpose for me, and a reason I don't have kids now. I have no purpose for kids right now.
Similar to my brother, he has no kids.
So yeah, I changed a lot of diapers. So but like I said, I appreciate being the oldest. I love it. My grandmother taught me a lot. My mom taught me a lot. So we pushing, and I'm doing it for them.
I hope your grandma listens and enjoys this. For real. This is like a fourth time you brought her up. Shout, what's grandma?
I love
what's grandma's
her. Name? I don't want them to go.
Not like what grandma. Like. Oh, you're right. Shout to grandma.
We're gonna call her Big V.
Big V. Shout to
Big V. We're gonna call her Big V. I never call her that in my life, but she gonna laugh at that. That's cute.
Is that what they call her?
Everybody call her grandma.
Okay,
she take care of everybody.
For real?
Yeah, she's had like over 20 to 30 foster kids.
Oh wow.
Yeah. She's taking a lot of people.
Yo, shout out to Big V.
Yeah, hey, what's up, Big V?
I hope she listens to this right before church. You feel me? And it gets her going. They must be all proud of you though, like all your siblings.
I think so. They tell how they don't tell you until they get older, or until like moments where you least expect it. Like my sister turned 20. One of my sisters turned 25, and she was like asking me advice about just entering that other side of 25, and she told me like, I know you felt like I didn't listen to you, or I will always be combative with certain things, but you really taught me a lot. Like, and I took all of it in, and it's really helped me. So it's moments like that make it all worth it.
That's beautiful. Shout out to family, yo. For real. Family's the reason we do it all.
Yeah.
So something we mentioned a little bit earlier that I kind of want to like breeze back to and talk about. You talked about doing radio under DJ Scream. Tell us about that experience, how that came apart, and like.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like my story does get deep. So, all right. I moved to Atlanta at 19, and I was putting in a lot of work. Like I was hosting, like every showcase, every club. I mean, I was like first female host here, first female do this, first female do that. Yeah, like a lot. And so I guess DJ Scream was seeing the work ethic. And I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, I heard Hood Rich Radio on High 107.9. And I remember thinking like, they need a female like me, like somebody just raw that don't mind speaking up, you know what I mean? But still classy, but got that, just a little fire. And I kind of manifested it, like,
and not crazy. For nothing, super quickly, you have like the perfect voice for radio. Like as I'm listening, I'm like, wow, no, you sound like amazing. No, of course.
Thank you. So yeah, I manifested it. Listen, I manifested it, but not at that moment. Like I said, I thought about it and, said that would be cool or whatever. Long story short, I ended up having 2 surgeries, and I had to go back home to Michigan. And during one of my surgeries, I can't remember if it was the first or the second, but DJ Scream had reached out to me because, of course, people were reaching out like on Twitter and Instagram, get well and et cetera, et cetera. And so DJ Scream reached out and sent me well wishes and was like, I've seen your work ethic and, I really, really love what you're doing and I really want to work with you when you come back out here. Let's talk. So long story short, you know me, I got in recovery, got through physical therapy quick. And matter of fact, that made me remember it was my second surgery because I sped through that recovery. Like, I'm like, I got to get back to Atlanta. I got to get back to work. So as soon as I got back, we had a meeting and he was like, listen, I got this thing with Sirius XM. I got this thing with DJ Drama, with Hip Hop Nation.
Hard.
Let's run it. So that was up from there.
What are like some experiences from like working with them that you'll never forget? Whether it was like someone you interviewed, just a specific day.
Seeing Uzi run around the studio like a little kid because he a Leo, so it was just fun seeing, like, I don't know, you know, when you see artists on TV or you see artists in other settings and you're an artist yourself, you kind of know it's another side, and there's so many other sides. So just seeing him in that side where, like, he wasn't necessarily raging out, he was literally just being a little kid. Like, that was so cool. But other than that, I guess just the relationships there, you know, like, because especially back then when we were on Hip Hop Nation, it was popping. DJ Drama had his show. We had our show. I think Trendsetters was on there. Like,
a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah, it was a lot of heavy hitters on there. It was like crazy, you know. And then of course pre-pandemic, everything was crazy. So so it was just the experience all together. Yeah, it was just the experience all together. It was a great experience. I'm very thankful. Love Scream. He was definitely one of my mentors. Still is to this day.
I legit met Scream 2 weeks ago.
Really?
For the first time ever, and I'm one of those people that, like, I let everyone know how much I appreciate their work if I appreciate it. Yes. So, like, I'm just chilling randomly. I'm, like, interning for Kodak over
Shout out to Kodak. I'm very proud of him.
He's killing it. So
shout out to Kodak.
I'm under the big homie's house. So I'm just chilling, doing some content. Scream walks in, and I'm just like, oh, shit. And I'm like, I love DJs, especially, like, mixtape DJs, underground DJs. Like, that's, like, my favorite ever.
And Scream is the OG.
The OG. So, like, he's just kind of sitting near me. I'm just on my phone chilling. And finally, I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but you're a fucking legend. And, like, for those who've never met Scream, he's, like, super humble. Like,
super humble, super chill.
He's just, like,
such a Capricorn.
He looks up. He's like, oh, that's really random. He's like, but thank you. And I'm just like, nah.
That
like,
sounds like him.
Yo, you feel me? And I'm just like, not for nothing. Like,
sounds like him.
Being around these people that I, like, grew up listening to. Like, I used to have iHeartRadio app on my phone on the bus. So, like, be around these people is surreal. So I can only imagine for you getting into it so early and just putting that work in.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because I was talking to one of my producers. We were on the way to the studio yesterday, and he's from Mobile, Alabama, and he was telling me, I forgot who he said he met, like, maybe the week that he moved out to Atlanta, but it's just crazy the opportunities or the people that you can meet being in Atlanta. You know
I
what
agree.
I mean? Like, it's crazy. You really can be in the same room, same circles as, like you said, people you grew up with, people you may never thought that you would be sitting next to, and that's why you got to always be ready.
No, yeah, be ready.
You gotta be ready.
Stay ready so you gotta get ready.
Stay ready.
No, it's I definitely feel the same way, but especially, like, moving to Georgia and just kind of seeing all the opportunities I've been blessed to just be a part of, or just seeing.
Where are you from?
I'm from Rhode Island, so all the way up north.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never met anybody from that small, pretty state.
Thank you. I think.
Yeah.
It is pretty. But that's usually like the response I get.
I'm so interested. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I literally was just watching a YouTube on Rhode Island yesterday.
Wait, really? Why?
I'm just, like, so randomly into geography.
Okay.
So, like, how was it growing up in Rhode Island?
Growing up was really
dope. Did you
dope.
know everybody? Like,
yeah.
All your neighbors?
Yeah, honestly.
They stay, like, across the whole state, and you're like, hey.
Nah, for sure. Like, we definitely all know each other, and since, like, like in the community I'm a part of, like, you know, like, being African, like, we kind of all know each other. Like, so my mom's Cape Verdean. We all know each other.
Nice.
We're all, like, high-key cousins. So it's like
high-key.
Growing up in Rhode Island's dope, though. It's definitely very diverse. It was culture shock the first time I came to Georgia, because it's like, when I came to Georgia, it's just like black, white, Mexican. Where Rhode Island is just like, it's fucking everything. And it's just like, I don't think I really experienced just, like, I don't know, like, I can't explain it. Like, I didn't realize, like, how heavy, like, racism was down south, because I'm living up north. I didn't realize.
I could see that.
A lot of the things that are, like, you kind of learn living down south never really, like, came to me up north. And maybe that's just because I was around so many diverse people.
Yeah. I mean, it just comes with where you're from. When
For sure.
I was having conversations with people I know that's from, like, California, and even just staying in LA, like, now hearing people being so shocked, even, like, the George Floyd or, like, those movements, like, being so shocked of the things that happen, because they have never went through that. Like, the people in California are nice. Like, honestly, no matter who, you know, of course, you have mean people everywhere.
Of course,
but I'm saying, like, it's very diverse. People are, you know, pretty much open to everybody. And the thing about California is you never know what a person is, because a person can look black and be a whole nother race or vice versa.
Very similar in Rhode Island.
You know what I mean? So it is like a culture shock with the South, and that's why I do see why a lot of people I know that stay on the West Coast don't necessarily like going to the South, or the people in the South don't like going to the West Coast just because it is such a culture shock.
It's a huge culture shock.
Huge
culture shock.
Yeah.
But no, Rhode Island's an incredible place. I'm like probably the most proud person from there. Like anyone who knows me out here,
I love that. Did you see how excited I got for you?
Yeah, I'm so excited that you like knew where it was. You didn't say it was New York, but I love it. It's a really creative. Yeah. No, people down south don't know about the 13 colonies. They ain't pay attention. But no, I love Rhode Island. I think it's a really dope creative place. I think the last 10 years of like the creative scene has like expanded so much. I'm really proud to be a part of that.
Nice. Take me to Rhode Island. I want to do a show.
You would love it in Rhode Island.
I want to do a show,
they'd
guys.
love you.
Bring me to Rhode Island.
Yeah, we should do let's do some EBT stuff up there, Kima.
Yes.
I'm like staring directly at you because y'all would love it in Rhode Island. Y'all would have a great time, especially in the summer. It's beautiful. The food's incredible.
I heard that. Yeah.
We have beautiful people. I think we have some of the most beautiful people in the world. Like I genuinely stand by that.
I love that.
But tell me about Detroit. I've never been to Detroit. Well, I'm sorry. Not say never. I've been to your airport. Detroit airport.
It's not Detroit.
Huh?
The airport's not in Detroit.
Where is it? I'm sorry.
The airport is in Romulus. That's like 30 minutes.
That's how you know I don't know anything about it. That's all I know. I know you guys have a really nice airport, and that's it. Like, what's it like where you're from?
Well, I'm definitely from the city.
Okay.
I'm from the city. I don't know. What can I say about Detroit? I love my city. It definitely... It wasn't easy growing up there, and I think that people say that all the time. But unless you're from there, you don't really understand. You know what I mean? You get it if you're from there. Yeah, I don't know. I love being from there. I think that it taught me a lot. It instilled me a lot. It instilled a lot in me. It instilled the survivor in me. Everybody I know from Detroit is a hustler. Literally every single person, every friend I have that's from Detroit, whether they still stay there or they moved away. They were able to survive. They are hustlers. What's crazy is every friend that I grew up in Detroit with, like my friends from elementary school. Like for one, I still have all my friends from elementary, middle, and high school that I grew up in Detroit. Loyalty is a big thing in Detroit. I can say when I moved to Atlanta, I had a big issue with dealing with females and loyalty and just the way people move. Like we had to call Big V. She had to get me right. You know, she had to tell me, focus on you.
Shout out Big V.
Shout out Big V. Let people do them, you know, because I came from like a place where, again, my same friends from 4th grade, whether I seen them every day or not, were my same friends when I graduated high school. You know what I mean? So loyalty was a big thing. So I forgot why I was saying that, but yeah.
I was just asking how it was.
Yeah, so yeah, again, like I just...
And you said everyone was hustlers, loyalty.
Yeah.
Oh, when you moved down here, it's kind of...
Oh, it was weird. And so it just instilled that loyalty in me no matter where I go. So I feel like, too, that's why I was able to move to Atlanta at 19 and still be able to maneuver and have my own apartment and be okay. Like, I moved out at 19 and I never moved back. You know what I mean? So it's like I literally had my own place, my own car, was stable enough. But I came from a city of hustlers. I came from seeing my uncles make nothing to something. I came from, like, you know, seeing my next door neighbors hustling. So I was able to move to Atlanta, and that's why I was able to also move to LA, like, and make it there. You know, I always, why you moving to LA? It's so expensive. It's so expensive. My thing is I can make it anywhere. Like, you know, I got God on my side, and I got my hustle. Like, I can make it anywhere, you know what I mean? So I appreciate that part, but I do appreciate that I had the Southern roots, or I have Southern roots. Though I'm from Detroit and I was raised mostly in Detroit, I was always back and forth to Atlanta, and both my grandmothers are from Atlanta, both my parents are from the South. No, excuse me, both my grandparents are from the South, and both my parents are from Georgia. So basically my whole family is from the South, you know what I mean? So I was able to still have, like, that Southern, know that soul food, that Southern hospitality, know how to treat a man, know how to have, you know, be polite, etc. So I like it. I like my little roots, you know.
I'm not mad at it.
Got a little feisty in me, hustle in me, but then I also know how to submit and keep it quiet.
I have a question, because you mentioned something about, like, moving down here, the girls are kind of, like, meaner. It's funny because I'm talking about...
Not meaner,
but, like, it's
weirder.
Or
not weird, or just, different.
Reason I asked that is because my best friend, Christy, she's from Rhode Island as well. She lives out here, too. And, like, one thing she's kind of noticed, she's like, everywhere I kind of step out, I get weirder looks. People are kind of different. It's like, she says, one thing she says out here is girls out here aren't girls. And it's like, I'm not a girl, so I don't know what that means, but I do know that's the meanest thing you can say about a girl. Like, I know for a
You're
fact.
You're just not a girl's guy.
Like, if someone said that,
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Damn.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's because Atlanta is the city of hustle too. Like Atlanta, for one, is the city of Black Hollywood and Black hustle. So nobody moved down here to be a girl's girl. They moved down here to get that bag. They moved down here to change their situation, change their lifestyle, get that man to do whatever they came down here for. So. Most times, being a girl's girl, that does not result in those results. So it is what that's really how it go. And that's why, like, moving to Atlanta, especially now, you gotta be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You gotta be able to keep your eye on the prize and know what you came here for. Because I came to Atlanta almost 10 years ago, or like 8 years ago, right? And I seen girls back then get ate up. You know what I mean? Like, I when I first started hosting, of course, it was girls coming around me. Oh, I want to host too. Oh, I want to intern with you. Or can you bring me to the radio station? And, they're trying to do different things. And somebody get pregnant, or they get caught up in something else, or they got to move home, or, just life things. You know what I mean?
This place can really eat you up.
Yeah, they start dancing, or I know people that got turned into prostitution. Like, I seen a lot from women who, in the beginning, who I thought were just as hungry as me, you know what I mean? And it like kind of dwindled out over the years. So you got to come with a goal. Same thing with LA. That's same thing with me being in LA. Like, I see how girls can get ate up there too. Men too. Anybody.
Question, because I always like tell, like, me and like my artist homies, like, they always say like they want to go to Atlanta first, LA after. Like, I feel like LA's typically most creatives kind of like end goal. As someone who's kind of lived in both places, been successful in both places, what do you, for creative, what place do you think is not easier but like more resourceful? Like, what?
I feel like it depends on what you want to do.
Okay, so for an artist, you wear so many hats, but for an artist specifically, like, where do you think is not easier but like better for them to kind of develop themselves?
Yeah. Again, I don't know. I feel like it just depends on what you're trying to do, because, like, again, part of why I moved to LA was I'm super into like the house dance world and like the pop world and just like the alternative world, and kind of just wanted to change that urban environment, even if it was just for a minute with the Atlanta scene. But then, like, I know a couple producers right now that's from LA, literally, and been producing and working in LA their whole life, and they just recently moved to Atlanta because it's so popping with urban, and this where all the rap girlies at, and this where all the the right people at with that side of things, or it's closer to Rolling Loud events, or it's whatever it is, you know what I mean? So I think it just depends on what you're trying to do and where you're trying to be at. Like, even with me, I love LA, but it's looking like music is going crazy in Atlanta right now. So if I need to come back to Atlanta to make it happen, then that's what we got to do.
Where are you based now?
I'm based in LA and Detroit.
Okay, bet. So
yeah, I went back home and been back and forth, just trying to do more in my city, in my home city, especially with a lot of things changing in Detroit. It's
Detroit's like becoming up.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's really crazy what Detroit is doing. They're really gentrifying my city. And that's not all good. It's not all bad, but it's changing a lot. And I'm proud of my city, and it's still part of what made me. Like I said, I wouldn't be who I am today, nowhere near who I am today, if it wasn't for Detroit. So therefore, I want to be back home doing stuff with my city, and I'm doing a lot with my family as well. So I'm kind of everywhere right now.
Nothing wrong with that.
Kind of everywhere, which was the goal. So, hey.
One thing I've noticed, never been to Detroit, but I feel like everyone from Detroit loves where they're from. Whether it's the artist Big Sean has 2 albums named Detroit. Like, every Detroit artist I know, every Detroit person I know loves it so much. Even like my manager at work, like, will die about the Lions, brings up Detroit almost as much as they bring up Rhode Island. Like,
I'm telling you,
I love that.
It's just because I think it's the people. Like, I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, everybody was saying like, "Oh, do you miss Detroit? Do you miss Detroit?" And I was like, I just wish I could bring my people here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, especially when I was growing up in Detroit, I didn't like how scarce the opportunities were, but I loved my people. Like, again, I still have my same childhood friends.
Would you say Detroit kind of suffers from like small city mentality, like small state, small city mentality? I feel like that's something where I'm from, where like it's very crab in a barrel.
No, because Detroit is actually a big city, and we used to have way more people. It just got broke. Our city suffers from corruption. Like
Nah, for
our
sure.
government was corrupted. You know what I mean? And like we went through a lot with that. And then also Detroit is based off fast money. So though Detroit, you know, it can be considered a poverty city. You know what I mean? Like they getting money in Detroit. Like,
because
everybody I know there is it's so funny. I know no broke niggas in Detroit. Like, it just does not exist almost. Like, that's really a thing. And people that's not from Detroit might be like, but people that's from Detroit, like, yeah, she not playing. Like, because everybody hustle. That's just how it go. Like, you just grew up like that. That's how your mama, daddy, sister, uncle, cousin was. So that's how you are. You know what I mean? So that's why you're gonna love your city, because when you see somebody like Big Sean and you know where he came from, or you see somebody like my brother Sada Baby, who we both came from the same parts, like, you know what I mean, and you see them on a whole nother level, you gotta say you love your city. You gotta love your city. Like, look where they came from. Look where we came from.
I definitely believe the getting money in Detroit thing. I remember I was watching a Pistons game, or I think I saw it on like Twitter. They you know how like basketball games they do like kiss cam and blah blah blah. Detroit has like a show your jewelry off camera.
Yeah,
niggas in like nosebleeds, mad chains on. I'm like, oh, they getting money out there.
But that's that. And see, I think too, that's why I was able to like maneuver when I moved to Atlanta and was around the rap scene, or when I go to LA, like. I've been around chains and buffs and 20,000 glasses and $20,000 glasses and these shoes.
Aren't the BMF niggas from Detroit?
Exactly. Like, you feel me? I was going to the strip club at 18, 19, and my brothers is throwing thousands on thousands. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up around that, so it was nothing to me when I moved to Atlanta and seen that. You know what I mean? Because I was in the car with my uncle at 12 when he in the front seat, and all you hear is. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up with that. I grew up with him, my mama pulling her hand out and he dropping her off. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I grew up with.
Yo, we gotta go try and get this money, Gavin.
You feel me? So it's like, so it's like I'm not really easily impressed, and I think that's why you have to say you love your city, because
I agree.
It made me who I am.
People who don't love their city are weird.
I don't fold easy.
I think people who don't love their city are fucking weird.
Yeah,
like
it made you.
That's weird.
I mean, I don't like the snow, but other than that, it made me.
Like I only know cause with Kima, she loves Tallahassee. I'm like, only people I know that from there are you and T-Pain, but the way she talks about it sounds like the greatest place ever.
T-Pain love his city.
You feel me? Okay. I'm actually trying to go to Tallahassee, but I got to tap in with Kima just to make sure we good when we out there.
Yeah, I'm only calling Kima if I.
You
go
feel
there.
me? Like I gotta make sure we good out there. But I love when people love their city, especially like the ones that don't get talked about as much. Like niggas talk about LA and New York and
No, real ones know about Detroit though. That's why I don't even be worried. Real ones know, and it's funny because everybody like to say, "Oh, you from Detroit? You crazy?" It's so crazy.
They crazy on Detroit? I've not been.
I can tell he really don't know about Detroit. That's why I was like, it's okay. Cool.
I only really know the only Detroit I know is legit from the rappers I listen to, and it's like every Detroit rapper paints a very different picture.
And Detroit then calms down a lot too.
Yeah,
Detroit's done calm down.
One more Detroit question: how's it feel I feel like for the past few years they were like where you're from is one of the most prevalent cities when it comes to the music shit. Like y'all
so proud of
having
that.
a moment, like, and it's like so many phenomenal rappers having moments. What's that like? Kind of seeing it firsthand.
I'm just proud of it. I mean, again, I grew up on Detroit rap, so this sound and these beats and the fast rap and the fast tempos, that's not new to me.
For sure,
it's new to the world. So I just appreciate that the world hears it. Like, listen. All much love, respect to all my Detroit rappers. There was a
2-year time period when I was back home when it's like I couldn't go to the club without hearing like 2 hours of just straight Detroit rap. So I'm like, this shit's hard.
Yeah.
Because I think up north we just like getting money music.
Yeah.
And I feel like Detroit was like,
and that's the thing too. And I think and that's why I always love Detroit music, because that's what Detroit music has always been, that hustle, get money, I struggle, I got to feed my fam, got to feed my bros, because that is Detroit culture. That is literally what it is. You know what I mean? Like, Detroit is a poverty city. It's really people inside of Detroit who didn't have a car their whole life, never left the outskirts of the city, never only took the bus. You know what I mean? Like, it's really people like that. So when you see people make it out, or you know what I mean, you hear it, it's a different feeling. I love my city.
I love it. I definitely love that. So I want to talk to you about DJing, because one thing I've been saying for the past 10 years, I feel like I think the world needs more like just fly women DJs.
I think the world got enough. I mean, all right, I'm gonna shut up.
We'll talk about that. So, like, how do we
I'm
get into
just kidding.
DJing? And, like, what are your favorite type of, like songs to spin when you DJ? Like, is there a specific genre you like more than another?
I mean, well, of course, my favorite genre is like electronic music, house music, techno. That's what I grew up on.
How do we get into electronic music?
So, house music, techno, Detroit. That's Detroit, Chicago, Chicago house, Detroit techno. Yeah, originators. So,
Got it.
that's what we grew up on too. So again, like we grew up. If it was rap, it was the struggle, grimy, fast beat rap. Let's get it. Or it was the house, the fast, beat. Yep, which we called it mixes when we were growing up. And then, so I used to throw house parties too. It's funny because I guess I low key always did. I always really been me. Like I always did the same thing. So in middle school, I used to throw basement parties. We had basements in Detroit, so I used to throw basement parties. And we had like, I might be aging myself a little bit, but we had like the CD spinner thing. So I used to burn the CDs from Lime. I don't know if at that time was LimeWire, but I used to burn CDs, and I used to make like maybe 20 songs on each CD, and I used to just let them play throughout the whole night. So I guess essentially DJing, like, but yeah, and they used to play the whole night, and my parties used to bang, okay, and we used to party.
I've seen you host a party, so I can imagine.
Yeah, and then I ain't have a mic then. We was just in the basement. I remember one time. And we were in middle school, and I don't know why my mom was tripping. I was so mad. She called like the hood boys smoking weed like next door in the backyard, but we on 7 Mile, Ma. You know what's up? Like, hello. But yeah, she shut my party down, and I remember it was so many people in the middle of the street.
Mama was saying,
man, it was so, she ain't do it no more though, because I got so mad at her. But it was so many people in the middle of the street. We turned it into like a block party. It was crazy.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. When the opportunity of interviewing came up and I started like going through the music, I was like shocked because I'm like, oh shit, she's doing techno mixes. She's doing like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know too many artists personally that are doing that, and I think that's definitely what separates you, and just kind of learning that like Detroit's like home to
and
that.
Like and that is genuine.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, that's fire.
Yeah,
that's like, because again, this is like that style of, I guess, like the genre blending, like the Rico Nasties. Like this is new to me.
Yeah,
like this is new to me seeing it in like our genre. I feel like
right. And so what's crazy is and shout out to Rico Nasty. She make like alternative. I really rock with Rico's one of my fave of the girlies.
I actually have that.
Yeah, really.
You listed Rico Nasty, Tierra Whack, and Megan Thee Stallion as your favorite artists. Is that list
really? What interview was that?
Honestly, I went through mad shit, so I forget exactly where it came from.
So it probably was like around that time because I don't have like favorite artists. I just have favorite moments with artists.
And it could have been that.
And that was that. But I love me some Tierra. Oh my gosh,
she's hard.
Yes. And Megan with the Tina Snow era, that was my girl. But So wait, what was we talking about?
We were talking about what were we talking about?
What were we talking about, guys? It's been such a great interview.
What happened?
Oh, genre
blending, yeah.
So the reason why, that's what I was going to tell you, like something kind of deep. So, or not deep, but a little vulnerable. So I had went through like a phase, like when I first released House Love Rage. And I was like, well, I was always working on, or in my mind and writing different things with music, and knew that I was going to eventually release, but I just wanted to try to find my sound, and I just couldn't put it together. But it was like you were saying, like the house and the rapper, like that tech, but meshing it together.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I dropped House Love Rage, and then that was literally around the same time that all the house and the rap was coming out. So I think like I dropped House like January, and then Drake had dropped his house project maybe like 3 or 4 months later, like 3 months later.
Honestly, never mind.
Yeah. And, we love Drake. That was hard. Tape hard as ever. But so then I start hearing it more and more. And then I'm like seeing so many producers like, oh, teach me I'm trying to make house beats. And everybody's just like on this house wave. It kind of like, I don't know if it discouraged me, annoyed me. I don't know what it did, but it like made me go into a shell. And I just kind of like went in a shell for a minute. And Kima was one of the people that helped me, and like a few more of my support team. But shout out to Kima. But like I had to like take a minute because I don't know. I guess I felt like, dang, I finally found my wave. This is what I've been trying to. Like I've been trying to get this out of my brain, and I finally put it on wax, and boom. You know what I mean?
But you know what though?
But you know, everything happened for a reason. I'm over that.
But I was gonna say, you know what though? If
I'm past
anything, it's
that.
gonna make people accept the music a bit more. Because I feel like
Yeah, that's what Kima said. But you know, I'm still an artist and I'm sensitive.
no,
sometimes.
and there's nothing wrong with being sensitive. There's also nothing wrong with taking breaks. I feel like as creatives, we're always stuck on like go 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 go. We gotta do the next thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, question for you, like for the creatives that listen, when you kind of get in those moments where you just need a break, like you've been doing this since you were 19, you said,
Yeah,
like, on a full fledged level. Like, what do you do when you kind of need?
I've been doing this since 15.
Really, 15, really? Yeah. So, damn, that's like
I started
that's literally
radio
half
at
your
15.
life.
Yeah,
Literally half your life you've been doing the
Basically,
entertainment world.
Mhm.
So how do you keep yourself consistent? How do you keep yourself kind of level headed? How do you keep yourself from not going crazy? Because this shit gets crazy. This shit gets really annoying.
Yes, it do. I don't know.
Like, what are your like? What are the things you do to just kind of level? I mean, maybe is it like kind of hanging out with family, being around the siblings, or what are the things
I
you
was
do to
gonna
get?
say
to get
it
level-headed?
probably is the siblings, just because I know that I have to stay level headed for them.
Mhm.
So like prayer and just like I don't know. I think I move around a lot too. Like I'll catch a flight real quick, or
And just
and you know what? I actually went. I don't know how deep I want to talk about this, but I actually went to a psychiatrist for the first time, and my doctor recommended it. And I never thought I would go to a psychiatrist, just not this soon.
Mhm.
I'm glad I went though. He was so cool. I was so nervous, but you know, I I don't see. Talking about the psychiatrist threw me off because it just made me think about the psychiatrist and made me forget what I was saying.
You're good.
What was I saying?
You were I'm trying to remember where you're taking this point. You were
Right. I had a great point.
You've been doing this half your life. Oh, I asked you like how do you stay
balanced.
level headed? Create.
Oh yeah. So I was telling my psychiatrist, great, thank you. I was
Anytime.
and that's part of what me and my psychiatrist was talking about how I get off guard. So
nah,
quick.
you good. You good.
But I was telling him that I have these days that I call like human days, and I guess it's just my drain days, like where I literally just can't talk to anybody. I don't want to talk. I just want to stay in my room. I might write. I may create, or I may not do anything but just stay in my head. Like I can think a lot. I'm a creator, so I'm always in my head. I have full plays in my head. So I don't know. I think that I just start doing those, but I don't know how healthy those are either. So I think I'm still trying to find a healthy balance. But I do hear from my peers that I balance things pretty well. So I don't know. I think I might have a little gift with just balancing, because things do get hectic. But I don't have any like crazy vices. I don't really like lash out.
That's good. I feel like for me, like when I
don't cry a lot either.
For real?
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to think when was the last time I cried.
Yeah. I mean, I cried this week because I had 2 video shoots and a whole lot of stuff going on. So
like
I cried
overwhelming
a little bit.
Or like
an
cry?
Overwhelming cry, kind of. Just a little bit though, just a little bit. But
It's like 3 dug tears and just kept
you
it
know what I
pushing.
meing? Like,
I feel it.
You know what I mean? Girl, let's go.
You keeping it gangsta all 2024.
Always,
For sure.
always. So I really don't know. I don't know.
I'm not mad at that. Speaking of music video shoots, how's the Moshpit music video shoot?
It was my shit.
Have you speaking of which, have you ever has a Moshpit ever happened when you like play that song when you DJ'd, or is like
so a Moshpit never happened. Oh, I can't wait to that day. I still haven't actually performed yet. That's coming soon. Yeah, we waiting on that, but that's coming. It's time. I know she's over there tripping about it. It's coming, guys. I swear. I'm ready. But I threw a house party for the release. For House Love Rage, and I played Moshpit, and they definitely moshed out in the house.
What's it like?
They had to calm down though.
What's it like seeing people react to your music in real time?
It feels good, and that's why I know I'm ready to perform. If it's a different effect. Like I enjoy DJing. I really do enjoy the art of DJing, the art of mixing, the art of seeing, the crowd react and crowd control, and even playing other talented artists. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just a different feeling when you can see people react to what you created and what you were feeling, and I guess what you envisioned in the studio. How,
like, is there moments when you're DJing when you kind of just like play one of your records just to kind of see like what are they gonna think? Like,
and I'm gonna be honest, I don't do it enough.
I know. You gotta pop your shit more.
I'm working on it this year.
As you should.
I'm working on it this year. I just was in the car with a friend yesterday who's like a super boss down here in Atlanta, and we were talking about the music. And I was like, it's crazy because I really don't even blast my music in the car as often as I should. And a lot of my musician friends do that. Like every time I get in the car, I'm listening to their music. You know what I mean? I should listen to my music way more. And my music hard. I should listen to it way more.
I mean, honestly, when Kima hit me, it was like, well, let's set up this interview. Like already, I was just like, I trust you because like I like that's twin for real, and I feel like
and you know, Kima not gonna brand nothing that ain't good.
That's not bullshit. Yeah, but I was like, oh, she's really hard, and I didn't even know. Like when I met you, I was kind of under the assumption that you did like parties and hosted and like models. So when the music came into play, I was just like, oh, this is genuinely good.
Yeah, and that's people reaction all the time. It's like always another layer. They're like, oh.
It's like just keep peeling the layers. Yeah. You're just like creative, like to the T.
Yeah.
So for 2024, what do we got? What do we got lined up?
2024, we're just going hard with the music. You know, like I said, I released House Love Rage a year plus ago, and like you said, I am a creative. I wear a lot of different crowns, and music.
I love that.
Again, shout out to Kima. She had to remind me that though I've been in this industry or in this world for a minute, I'm still kind of rookie to the music part. Like, because in Moshpit I say, I'm a rookie, but I'm never novice. So it's like I'm a rookie.
That's a bar.
You know what I mean? I am a rookie, and I gotta accept that. I'm still new to it, but I'm coming hard. So I was saying all that to say, like, when House Love Rage came out, I don't think I did. Like I said, I wasn't even playing my music. I might play it, but I'm not, like, always playing it. Like, I'm not cocky. I don't know. I'm not cocky. I'm so cool. But I need to go harder with my promotion. I need to go harder with letting people hear it, because when people hear it, they know it's hard. But I got to give it to them so they can hear it. I got to put it in their ears and put it in their face so that they can hear it. And I think being a DJ, it helps, but it also hurt with the music or the artistry in me, because I've been the DJ where people play my song, emailing me records, throwing music in my face, etc. And I didn't want to be that artist. But at the same time,
you kind of got to be that artist.
At the same time, that's what it takes. You know what I mean? Because if the music hard, the music hard. You know what I mean? So you got to do what you got to do. So like I said, you know, it's all a process. It's all trial and error. It's all a learning thing. I mean, Apple, how many times was Apple before Apple was Apple? You know what I mean?
A lot. So, it took a very the iPod actually saved Apple.
Exactly. So you know what I mean. We released House Love and Rage, and now we about to release House Love Rage as a trilogy, and we gonna rerun it, and we about to turn up for the rest of 2024.
About to run it up.
We about to run it up, and I'm about to hit these stages.
I'm excited to see it come full fledged. I'm excited to see you perform. I definitely got to go to a show. I'm just excited to kind of see it full fledged, because now that I'm hip and I'm just knowing you're like doing so much stuff, it's like now I'm paying attention. I'm just like, I'm excited to see.
I'm glad I got your eyes.
Nah, for sure, yo. Shout out to Kima for putting it together. This has been an amazing conversation. I'm really excited to see just like where it goes from here. What's one thing that you need to accomplish in this new year? Like whether it's like performing somewhere specifically, traveling somewhere, what's something that next time I sit down with you, you're going to be like, Coog, I did that thing?
I'm just ready to perform. So I just need to be on the stage. So next time I see you, I need to be on the stage.
It needs to be on the stage.
I need to.
We got to get her on Dope Concepts, Gavin. We should get her on Dope Concepts.
Huh?
We throw a show called Dope Concepts out here, and it's like the people we feel like are like ready to go. Like I like the people I feel like, I don't look at it as a showcase, because it's like you have to be dope to be on it. So it's more or less just kind of like, these are the niggas that I think are next. These are the niggas that like if you see them at Rolling Loud 4 months from now, just know I called them.
I'm the one
you know what I mean? Just know, like, these are the niggas that I won't be shocked if they're on the Double XL cover next year. Like, these are the people I genuinely believe in. I think they're really dope, and they're not just artists. They're like creating.
So are you saying you think that I'm genuinely dope?
I think you're very dope.
Thank you.
Like even before the music, I remember being like this. Like you were hosting, and I'm a hater. So like no, for real, I'm a hater.
I like that you admit that.
No, I'm a hater. So like when I see other hosts, I'd be like, "She's trash." I really be at other events like, "This is trash."
And I was playing with that one. We was at Kima party. We was lit.
But it was fun. It was like
a lit. That was my girl birthday.
But you made everyone feel comfortable, and I feel like a lot of hosts don't do that. I feel like you kind of talk to everybody like you were, for being like a really like, I don't know. Do people ever feel like, oh, you're gonna be mean and you're really nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those where I'm just like, yo, she's mad nice. What the fuck?
I get that I'm intimidating at first, and then like I'm so cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
And from that day, I was like, no,
It's
she's
not
super
friendly. I'm
she's
cool.
super dope. So yeah, we can definitely get her on a dope concert. We gonna figure it out, Kima. We gonna figure it out.
But yeah, that's my goal. Literally to get
On
on stage and to get my people, in front of me with me. Just that's all that matters to me. It's my babies.
I love that.
That's what I do it for.
Man, we gotta go to Detroit. That's like next. I've never been. I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a show up there too.
Say no more. Let us know ahead of time and we'll pull up.
Okay.
How far is Detroit driving?
It's 12 hours. Just catch the flight.
We
It's
gonna
only
catch a
an
flight.
hour
It's,
and 30.
it's probably like super cheap.
It's like an hour.
Because
30.
y'all are like a connection flight place. I feel like I've been there for connection
I think
flights.
Detroit is a connection
Yeah,
flight place.
Like
yeah.
a connecting. That's why I've been there. I feel like
Yeah.
We
It's
gon-
a quick flight. It's easy.
we gonna go to Detroit. I gotta meet Big Sean.
Big Sean stay in LA.
Damn, you right.
He,
Niggas-
Big Sean bait up.
You right. Shout out to
Come
Big
on
Sean.
now.
Shout out to Big Sean. That's like probably my favorite Detroit rapper.
Really?
Yeah.
We love Big Sean. I respect Big Sean a lot.
He's
a real lyricist.
He's that, and I just feel like he's cool. I feel like when he came out, I was in high school, and I'm just like, this nigga's mad cool. He got all the bitches. He's fly as fuck. I was like, I see myself in this guy.
Yeah, no, Big Sean was he was that nigga. I ain't gonna lie. They used to throw concerts. I think he's finally famous.
Yeah.
They used to be like a group collective, yeah. So they used to throw like concerts and they would all come out fly as fuck in the shows.
Putting that shit on.
What?
I've always wanted to go to Burn Rubber because of them.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go to Burn. See, you know something about Detroit.
Because of Detroit rappers,
but you know about the other side of Detroit. You know the alternative, the Burn Rubber,
Yeah.
that vibey side. That's the put the boy. We might skateboard on you.
I
type.
know y'all are fly as fuck out there.
Come on.
Like I know that.
Come on, that's easy.
Nah, for sure.
That's easy.
But Amber Jaii, I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank you for being a part of the show. It's always fun interviewing people who do like radio and hosting because it's just nonstop conversation, which was great.
Yeah, yes or no answers.
Exactly. Before we get out, is there anything you got to say? Tell them where to find you, all the situations, all the drops.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me.
Anytime.
I really appreciate it. So yeah, you can find me on all social media. Everything is the same. Amber Jaii, AMBERJAII, 2 I's, not a Y. And stream all my music. We got more music coming, more vibes coming. Come to the shows when they come, and I'm gonna turn you up. Okay, thank you, Gucci. Bye, guys. Moshpit coming out soon too. Make sure y'all go stream that.
Talk that shit. This was another really fun episode of Kickin It with Coog. Like I said, we keeping it gangsta all 2024. Free Max B, we out.
Yeah.